Here's when a student threatened violence to one of the visitors.
Yo. Oh, you better not, Blake! You better not!
Okay.
You better not!
There was also a guy who showed up to the discussion with a screwdriver. Here's where the police are trying to escort the visitors off campus, but the students are trying to block that from happening.
Look, they're intentionally blocking us. They want us to leave, but they don't want us to leave.
Why are you here? What do you want? Just think about that right now. Do you need a network of the right connections? Maybe you need a mentor to hold you accountable.
We want you to welcome your instructor and our friend, Rob Lett.
Please put your hands together for Rob Lett.
Ladies and gentlemen, bring to the stage, on your feet, Rob Lett!
Welcome to the Rob Lett Show. I'm your host, Rob Lett. In the spirit of Charlie Kirk, about a week ago, a couple of guys decided to continue national campus debates, but I guess they made a mistake. And one of the universities on their list was Tennessee State University, an HBCU. Today we're going to discuss what Baitcar and TSU have in common, my Facebook posts, what no Democrat has answered for me, and the fallout. One story, one show. Let's do it. You know what time it is. It's time for the Rob Lett Show. Between the years 2007 and 2012, there was a show on TV called Baitcar. Baitcar was a show where the police would put cars in high crime areas. Usually the car was unlocked with the keys in it. In some cases, the car would be unlocked with the keys in it and it's still running. The idea was to draw out the thieves who were committing crimes in the area. When a thief stole the car, the police would remotely lock the door so the thief couldn't escape. They'd shut the engine down, surround the thief, and make an arrest. The show was very popular. There were some who didn't like the show, though. Some complained that this practice of the police was considered entrapment. Entrapment is when the police induce someone to commit a crime, typically through harassment, threats, or undue pressure. If entrapment can be proven, a case can be dismissed. But as I just told you, that the show Baitcar ran consistently for 6 years. They were not guilty of entrapment. They didn't harass, threaten, nor pressure anyone. They simply provided an opportunity and waited to see who would take it. I know what you're saying. Wait a minute, Rob. What does this have to do with the TSU story? Well, it's similar, because just like Baitcar, we have an example of perpetrators somehow claiming to be the victims. Last week on Tuesday, September 23rd, two visitors named Cam and David decided to continue campus debates in the spirit of Charlie Kirk. One of those campuses landed them at Tennessee State University, which happens to be an HBCU. They talked to the campus police. When the police tell Cam and David that they need a permit to be there, Cam responds with the fact that it's a public university and they have a First Amendment right to free speech. The police agree and allow the visitors to stay. The visitors had civil conversations with two students, one of them a person named Jamar, who we'll talk about here in a minute, which lasted for perhaps maybe 10 minutes before a crowd started to form. A crowd of perhaps 30 women gathered around the visitors' table. They began laughing and making fun of the two visitors. TSU police were present for all of this. More students gather. At some point, a woman knocks the visitors' signs to the floor. A student steals the visitors' signs. They destroy the signs and write Black Lives Matter on them. Another student threatens violence against the visitors. And finally, the situation gets out of hand so much that the campus police decide it would be safer if the visitors left the campus. The visitors packed up their equipment and were escorted off the campus by TSU police. The entire time, the visitors were not only taunted by TSU students, some of the students even tried to block the visitors from leaving the campus. Now that you're up to speed on everything that happened, let me tell you how this all went left. When the incident was over, everyone had a different view of what happened that day and who was in the wrong. I was no different. 2 days later, I made a Facebook post. Here's what I said. Ouch, this one's going to hurt. I know I'm going to get some pushback on this one. I'm going to definitely record a podcast on this one because it's so sad. I don't need my notes. I don't need my teleprompter. I'm just tired of seeing this. I can do this off the dome, as they say. So in the spirit of Charlie Kirk, two white guys started a tour of college campuses. They went to an HBCU to have a public discussion about DEI as well as illegal immigration. When I tell you the response was embarrassing, shaking my head. The response I'm seeing from many of the melanated people on X, they're spinning this like two white guys invaded their campus and harassed them. Never mind the fact that you don't have to stop and talk if you don't want to. Never mind the fact that the black TSU campus police were right there and didn't see anything wrong with their presence. No, the students were just triggered. You blew it. This was your opportunity to shine and show your parents you're not just joining fraternities there. You're not just stepping there. You're actually learning something there in that university. And you blew it. Instead of being civil, well, a few were civil before it got crazy, you instead steal their signs, threaten to fight, you run them off campus. All because someone came to talk to you? Talking is what got you triggered? I didn't hear any profanity from the men in MAGA hats. I didn't hear any slurs, just two signs stating their positions. If you disagree, come prepared to explain why, or just walk away if you don't want to engage. What's your outrage about exactly? This is what I mean when I say being a conservative is far more difficult than being a Democrat. Being a conservative, a true conservative, requires a special skill. Milton Friedman called it a self-denying ordinance, meaning I may want to curse you out, but I'm not going to. I may want to shut you up, but I'm not going to. The ordinance to deny myself from doing what would be so easy to do is self-imposed because I have a higher calling. Self-restraint is the foundation to success in so many areas of your life. It's not just the foundation of having a good debate. It's also the foundation of having a good marriage. It's the foundation of managing your finances. It's the foundation of being a productive citizen in our society. After Charlie Kirk's memorial, I'm watching the news and seeing record numbers of people returning to church, record numbers of people praying again. Remember, I didn't say conservatives are perfect. I said what we have to do is difficult. It means our goal is self-restraint, but we sometimes give in because we lack self-control in the moment. It's a constant spiritual struggle. That's why we pray. Some of you are on the wrong side of history. You've been on the wrong side for a long time. It's just becoming more and more apparent with each passing day. Hashtag The Rob Lett Show. I also posted this video along with my post.
We'll set up a table.
So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that any of them know that Trump announced that he was giving $500 million to HBCUs? You think any of them knew that? And all of them on that campus said that they were being provoked by him asking you questions. And this is why I said just yesterday that the black community is performative and they have selective outrage, because they don't really care about what they hooting and hollering about. They only care when the wrong messenger says it. Because if they actually care, they would have went down to their local hood and talked to all the gang members and said, you know what, we tired of the violence. Black lives matter. Stop this, stop that. They don't care about none of that. They only care when a white man come on campus with a red hat and they call him a racist and run him off campus. Man. And this is why the black community is failing, bro. It really is. Because they acted like that all because a white man came on campus and was about to start asking them questions. And all they had to do was voice their opinion, say how they feel. But they couldn't. Why? Because they don't even have their own opinion. Everything the black community does is in the name of being black. They have no idea why they do the things they do. It's just because they're black. Why did they go to that HBCU? Probably just because they're black and that's what they were told to do. Why do they think the way they think? Probably just because they're black and their mama or daddy said so. Nobody has their own opinions, bro. Them folks brought out a BLM poster for a random white man on campus. And this is a direct reflection of the black communities and these HBCUs and whatever they be pointing to these kids for them to think the way they think and act the way they act. Because I don't know how much more proof y'all need, but they hate white people. I don't know if y'all could see that, but they hate white people. And these communities and these schools, they teach black power. They teach that the black skin color trumps all. And mind you, a lot of them don't even think that black people can be racist. That's scary. And let's also not forget, a lot of those people are pro-DEI. So they want to be accepted into the workplace because they're black, but yet they hate white people.
As I said in my post, I knew I'd get pushback from some people because I was already hearing the narrative that the MAGA guys invaded their campus. Most every person I saw siding with the TSU students had done so for one simple reason, because they say you're supposed to have a permit to be on campus. Okay, I'll meet you halfway. Let's say you're 100% correct, and you might be. What no Democrat has answered for me yet is, how does having a permit or not having one excuse you for stealing their signs? How does it excuse you for destroying their signs, threatening violence, and trying to escalate the situation all in the presence of police? No Democrat has answered this question for me yet. I really hate that this story has taken on racial connotations because it's really not about race. Let me show you what I mean. Remember when I told you that Cam and David had civil conversations with two of the students from TSU? Here's just a little of the conversation with Jamar.
No, man. David.
David?
Yes.
Jamar, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Jamar, why do y'all feel as though DEI should be illegal?
Personally, I think that it discriminates people based off their race, their gender. I don't feel like that today in 2025 we should be looking at each other based off race, based off our gender. We should judge people based off merit, and we should qualify individuals to institutions like colleges, to companies based off merit. I don't want to live in a society where we are constantly looking at each other through the lens of race. I want a colorblind society, and unfortunately one of the main components of DEI is to force us to look at society not through a colorblind lens. They want me to look at individuals based off their race, and I thought we finished that.
Did you hear any yelling from either Jamar or the visitors? Did you hear any insults or sarcasm from either side? No. Is Jamar black? He appears to be. I couldn't find footage of the other person they spoke to, but my point is, why is everyone acting like if you're black, this was some traumatic invasion of some sort? Yet Jamar shook their hands. He's black. He was respectful. He's black. Both the visitors and Jamar were respectful to each other. And whether or not Jamar agreed with him, he still walked off peacefully. End of story. My million-dollar question is, why couldn't the rest of the TSU student body just do that? Nobody has an answer. I suspect it's because they know the TSU students were flat out wrong for their actions. So where do we go from here? TSU and the NAACP both issued letters making the fallout from this altercation very interesting. I'll put the NAACP letter here for you to read later if you want. But here's how TSU responded. Today, a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice. In accord with university policy, any demonstration or protest activity requires advanced approval and permitting. Campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. The safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. TSU will continue to uphold university policies and ensure that campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community. Tennessee State University. TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner at all times? It's a good thing we have video. You can judge for yourself if the TSU administration lied or not. Here's when the students stole the visitors' signs.
Look at that. Come on. Bring the sign back.
The BLM signs they're holding, they made these signs by destroying the signs they stole along with the Sharpies that they took. Here's when a student threatened violence to one of the visitors.
Yo. Oh, you cut it out, boy! You better not!
Okay.
There was also a guy who showed up to the discussion with a screwdriver. Here's where the police are trying to escort the visitors off campus, but the students are trying to block that from happening.
Are they going to block me in here now?
I think that might be what they're trying to do. They're intentionally blocking us.
They're blocking us. Here comes the cop. I'm not going to hit it now, I guess. I'm not going to hit it now, I guess. We've got more stuff. They're hitting the car.
I thought they wanted us to leave.
They're hitting the car. We're trying to leave, and they're telling us to leave, and they don't want us to leave, I guess. Hey! They are still hitting the car.
That's okay. Bring in the
How was to see you in person?
Look, they're intentionally blocking us. They want us to leave, but they don't want us to leave.
Here's the man who worked security for Cam and David and how the students treated him. Notice them putting their hands on him. If you call this professional and respectful, then I totally understand why Tennessee State University has a 32% graduation rate. As a conservative, I get accused all the time of being partisan and agreeing with everything Trump does, but that's not true at all. Let me take this time to go on record to say I disagree with Trump giving funding of $500 million to HBCUs or any university for that matter. If I were the president and TSU were requesting funding, my response would be, If you made it this far, like this video, friend me, or subscribe. Definitely share this video and be sure to click you want notifications when we release a new video. On Facebook and X, you'll find me as Rob the Speaker. And on YouTube and Rumble, you'll find me as The Rob Lett Show. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers to your freedom.